All right, we need to stop and take a look at something, everybody. Something that I think is pretty goddamn cool. So this is the Atari 2600 Plus from Atari, believe it or not. So yeah, Atari is re-releasing their 2600 Plus with just like a modern redesign, but not. It's the exact same product. It doesn't have an SoC. It's just Atari 2600 Plus parts. Just modern. Dinar cartridge left behind. Enjoy your favorite Atari 2600 and 7800 games on one system. Not only does the Atari 2600 Plus hold double cartridge duty, it also features HDMI and widescreen mode for easy connectivity to modern TVs. Jump right in with the included CX40 Plus joystick and a 10-in-1 game cartridge. Features some Atari's most famous games like Adventure, Missile Command, and Yar's Revenge. Sounds pretty cool. Now, this isn't really what I want when I say I want companies to support their old products. However, just because this isn't the console I was rooting for to do it, doesn't mean that this isn't an awesome opportunity for Atari to prove themselves as the retro connoisseurs and the people for retro. Now, the Atari is pretty niche in my opinion. I know that there's a large amount of people who enjoy the Atari and the generation of Atari, and I don't want to say that this is not a phenomenal product for them because I'm sure this is going to be a great product for them. What's super exciting is that this has the ability of pointing at something like Sony and saying, hey, look, all these people are buying these old games. What are you doing with your classic library? Nintendo, what are you doing with your classic library? And what are the rules with these old consoles? Who's to say that a new publisher can't pop up and produce PS2 games, GDI games for the Dreamcast? Who's to say that they couldn't set up some kind of network and support these old consoles in a way that is affordable and feasible and reasonable and still have collectibles like physical releases. So essentially, what Atari 2600 Plus here is showing to us is that we can reboot a long, long, long time after the console had been released. We can once again attempt to make this product viable in a modern climate. And I do think that this has aesthetic value, it has vintage value, it has playable value, of course. But this is going to be a testament to if small games, homebrew games, things like um, reprints, canceled games, that kind of stuff could see print for the first time. Games that are not a part of, say, Nintendo's seal of approval for the GameCube, a game could theoretically be released today for the GameCube that you just can buy, even though you can buy, like, let's say, a ROM of the game that you can just run on Dolphin, and that's going to be openly distributed because that's how DRMs work. So you would have to find a way to DRM your ROMs essentially for a console. But there is obviously mess there, but as long as you communicate it, a lot of people are going to want to buy this stuff. A lot of people are going to want new games for old consoles to enjoy. A lot of content creators will probably set up their Atari 2600 Plus and go through the library and be all super excited that it's out and there's going to be a lot of Atari content coming soon. They're probably going to be playing a lot of those to cartridge, or maybe they can have a upload your own ROM kind of thing where it doesn't really matter what it is, you can just upload it and it gets put on a cartridge and sent to you, and you can just get custom cartridges. Um, who knows? I'd love to see an Atari 2600 Plus playing like Faith, the Unholy Trinity. I think that would be super awesome to do. Uh, I'd play it. I would think a lot of people would want to play that on the original Atari 2600 Plus or this model or any model. Uh, just an awesome, awesome thing. And as we see with consoles, the availability of backwards compatibility is becoming way more feasible as technology just gets faster and faster and faster, and our programmers are just getting better and better and better. So if we do have, let's say, a PS6 and a Xbox 720 finally, they might have full backwards compatibility, which means these sub niche game developers could then release PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, or games that work on those systems, rather, which would have to be probably some legal way of talking about it. But if this is the case and these games can be produced, that would mean buying something like a PlayStation 5 would create viable argument of competitive fairity or fair play in the market because this product is, let's say, far cheaper, where you hold yours to a higher value and therefore it's more expensive. There's going to be pros and cons to everything. New consoles could get more expensive as all of the backwards compatibility and all of these sub niche games are being released. Who's to say that we won't see modern developers take a part of that market and be interested in releasing games that fit into a specific aesthetic. And these graphic styles might become an aesthetic. So you might have the fluid motion of playing God of War Ragnarok, but instead of it being a 4K masterpiece, it might purposely be in a lower resolution. Now, this isn't me saying that's going to happen. I'm just using it as an extreme hyperbole. However, it would be really interesting to see what developers dictate deserves to be in a lower quality or they feel fits into a lower quality aesthetic, only in the perspective of specific console gaps. So there's a lot of opportunity here for the gaming community and gaming market at large to blow up and do something more with this information, this competitive value that is being applied. But sadly, I don't think much is going to be done about this because Sony is still making a tablet controller for $200 fucking dollars. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.